here at Webb Slough. Lots of cavitation. .118. So boat 71, 54.118. Scott and Kerry Jensen in boat number 8 will make their way out next. Scott and Kerry, sponsored by Nahani Truck and Trailer Repair and DNA Signs and Graphics, along with Davis Office Furniture. Here we go. First of the Fat Buddies on their way around. After some rough going early on, they picked it up. However, getting a little wild as we get into the most technical part of the course here, about the last half. They squeaked in on their final run, way wide on that corner. As they cavitate. Clean run, though. And a 53.180. That is our official time today. King Beverages remind you to have a designated driver as you make your way home if you're enjoying the beer garden today. Responsibility matters. That's a message from your friends at Budweiser and King Beverages. State and county police particularly out in force today, where what we're understanding is that in particular a lot of people are getting nabbed for not going 25 miles an hour through St. John. So if you want to save yourself a ticket and maybe higher insurance rates, if you're going to be leaving today, A, make sure that you have a designated driver if you've been over in the beer garden, and B, that you follow the speed limit on your way out of town. A big thank you, by the way, going out to the Roselia ambulance crew, the Colfax ambulance crew, Whitman hospital staff, the Whitman County Sheriff's Department, and the Washington State Patrol, along with the St. John and Colfax Fire Department. They're out here today making sure people are being safe, and the folks on the grounds out here today are volunteering their time. And we want to thank them for spending the day here at Webb Slough. Waiting now for boat 71B, which is just rolling off of the trailer. Your local agricultural and chemical fertilizer specialist in the Palouse are Wilbur Ellis. See him in Fairfield, Toccoa, Oakdale, or Colfax, proudly helping our local farmers feed the world. Boat 71 has the green flag, And they're going to punch it. Jay Correa, Larry Hines Navigator, now behind the wheel, with Chelsea Gottfried in the passenger seat. Sponsored by Bowtie Performance. That's a great run for Jay Correa. That's his fastest of the day. 5.1 or 52.048. 52.048. Dylan and Terry Cummings in boat 99 as they roll off the trailer. It's the family plan with Cummings. Father, son, wife, sisters, sister-in-laws, brothers, brother-in-laws, nieces and nephews. Literally, the entire clan shows up for every race. Dylan, the 21-year-old, also one of our crop of new fathers. Daughter, just about a year old. Nicely done. Clean run. 52.444. And that brings us to the bubble. Larry Hines and Jay Correa in boat 71 are on it. Anything better than a 54.118, and they're done for the day. Boat 17 is Scott Ackerman and Graham Reynolds from Colfax, sponsored by Digitron Data Acquisitions, Lennox Heating, Ackerman Heating, Rosin Racing. Scott came very close to bringing it in under 50 seconds. With it smoothing a few things out, he could very well do it here. The run is good. 51.031 unofficially. And that is official. 51.031. Larry Hines and Jay Correa eliminated. Now on the bubble, Scott and Kerry Jensen. Anytime better than 53.180. And they're done for the day. And that brings us to Robert and Amy Cox in boat 049. One of only 3 boats in the class to put in a time better than 50 seconds. So the woman that was looking for the 60-year-old man with Alzheimer's, he is down in the beer garden. So the message just coming up to the booth. The woman that was looking for the 60-year-old man with Alzheimer's is down in the beer garden. Good place to be on a hot day like this. Robert and Amy Cox, boat 049. Scott and Carrie Jensen await their fate. Sponsored by Columbia Auto Body and Paint and Hermiston. Some island and some air. And he gets another one under 50. 49.361. So 49.367, the official time, and that means that Scott and Carrie Jensen are gone, with Dylan and Terry Cummings in boat 99 now on the bubble. Anything better than 52.444, and they're done, which brings us to Eric Werner and Nicole Brown in boat 146, sponsored by Diesel Outfitters, Ultra Shield Race Products, Baxter Auto Parts, Taylor Automotive, BreakawayAdventures.com, boat 146. Jolly Roger off the trailer. Blue light special at their booth. Another one of those great technical drivers. Clean run, great run. 47.552. So, Dylan Cummings in boat 99 done for the day. That brings Jay Correa and Chelsea Gottfried to the bubble with the fastest boat on the course coming out. Sponsored by Perfection Tire. Davis Office Furniture. Boat 69 and Dennis Hughes from Spokane, Washington. Waiting for the official time, but at 45.809. That is it. It is good. So goodbye to Dylan Cummings, or pardon me, Jay Correa and Chelsea Gottfried. 3 of the boats making it in to the four cut in the Supermods all having times under 50 seconds. Scott Ackerman still in it. In the 400 class, Brian and Aubrey Swindoll in both 76, and the 400s are ready to rock. Run's good. 53.961 for Brian and Aubrey. Jordy and Deb Cook, boat 88. So all of the Fat Buddies that were in the 400 class, actually there was only one eliminated. A number of the Fat Buddies here in the 400 class, 3 different Fat Buddy boats. In the A400s. The first, now, boat 88. Scott Ackerman in boat 17 makes it into the forecut, as does boat 49, 146, and boat 69, and they will come out in that order. It's good. Quite clean run and quite a flailing around. So 50.908 for Jordy and Deb, and that's by far their best run of the day. Boat 710 is Doug Olson and Lynn Gilder. Sponsored by Fountain Flying Service, Bright Craft Boats and Custom Fabrication, and Dale's Boat Service out of Moscow. To keep it exciting, he mows the lawn on the side of the island. Finishes up with a clean run in kind of a dirty way. So the run is clean. .323, with the exception of skimming an island and a couple of other things. He very well could have brought the boat in at about the 50-second mark. Fat Buddy Jr., boat number 9, Jesse Miller, Logan Evans. Lots of pinballing. Wave to the crowd, Logan. There you go. Everybody meet Jesse and Logan. So the first DNF of the eliminations. Jesse eliminates himself as they quickly push the boat back into the water. Star Rental is a big sponsor of Sprint Boat Racing here at Webb Slough, providing the lights and the lifts for our video and photography crews. Webb Slough loves renting from Star Rental, and they think you will too. L&M Truck Sales has been around Spokane since about 1968, and they started just selling select used trucks to transportation companies, and from that point on, they've evolved, selling hundreds of grain trucks to rural communities like St. John. They also specialize in custom design trucks, whether you're looking for a farm water truck, a dump truck, bucket truck, maybe a truck-mounted crane, freight delivery trucks. They're used by everything from fire departments to utility companies, from the Forest Service to, of course, farmers in the local area. L&M Truck Sales. Also, Inland Cellular brings you racing out here, serving the region for over 20 years. Your local mobile phone and tablet provider. They work where others don't. Get connected with Inland Cellular today. Racing also brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. At Les Schwab, they know buying tires today means more than just price. It includes service, selection, quality, and value. That's why dollar for dollar, tire for tire, Les Schwab is the tire store you can trust. So Jesse's done for the day. So the drivers will tell you it frays the nerves as you wait to make your way out. The faster that these rotations go, the easier it is, as the drivers, of course, are in the boats. They're in their fire suits, sweating it out. Gives you a chance, unfortunately, to dwell on the fact that you're coming out next and what you need to do. So the boats that will be coming out in the four-cut for the Supermods, boat 17 will be out first, followed by boat 49, then 146 and boat 69. So Scott Ackerman and Graham Reynolds will be out first in the four-cut for the Supermods, boat 17 from Colfax. Robert and Amy Cox from Idaho and boat 049 will follow them. Then Eric Werner and Nicole Brown. Nicole's from Swim. Eric is from Wrangell, Alaska. And then Dennis Hughes and Mattia Haskey from Spokane and Aberdeen, respectively. Still waiting to see what our four-cut is going to be here in the A400 class. Boat 47, part of the Bandit team, where they have all sorts of Bandit gear over at the Bandit booth. Ask about how you can get a free Bandit bandana. All right. So the rookie has got a lot that he would love to prove. Would love nothing more than to make it into the four-cut. Potentially could be in a position to do that. Good around the donut. See how he handles it coming into the hairpin. Pretty good. Most of the drivers let off just before they hit the hairpin and then power through it. And a good way to close it up for him with a clean run and a time of 53 and change. 53.488 for Darren and Ashley Swindoll at boat 47. On the bubble is Brian and Aubrey Swindoll. First boat out. Anything better than a 53.961, and they're done for the day. And that brings us to Scott Saxton and Frank Ferron. Fat Buddy Sr. Scott owns a glass company. Frank is a professional vagabond. That could have been disastrous, but Scott hangs on to it. A couple of times they have gotten close to just frankly eating the bank. And a 51 and change with a clean run. 51.478. Boat 1. Coming out next, Brian and Aubrey Swindoll eliminated. Now Darren and Ashley Swindoll wait to see if they're going to be eliminated. Doug Hendrickson, one of two drivers in the class, to put a time in that was better than 50 seconds in the A400s today. Doug could be the one potentially to eliminate the Swindolls. Doug having a very solid race day out here after kind of an up and down race in Port Angeles just a couple of weeks ago. But he has been solid all day long. Boy, that boat is fast in the straightaway. Clean. .977. Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller definitely making it into the four-cut as Darren and Ashley Swindoll are done for the day. So the Swindolls have been swindled. The Bandits jailed. And Doug Olson and Lynn Gilder in boat 710 now find themselves looking at possible elimination. Anything better than 52.323. And the boat to do it would be this one. Boat number 2, Livewire, Paul and Taylor Garr from Spring. They are part of CNT Racing. This is a case, again, where the fastest boat and the fastest time doesn't necessarily go to the quickest of the boats. A little bit of a bobble there, a rare occurrence in Paul's day so far. But his boat in a straightaway definitely wouldn't beat Doug Hendrickson, and yet he's got a better time and may have another time as he heads for home. Not quite, but still good enough to make it into the four-cut with a 49.317. All right, so Doug Olson and Lynn Gilder out of it. So it'll be boat 13, Scott Saxon and Frank Ferrand, followed by boat 88, Jordy and Deb Cook. And then Paul and Taylor Garr in boat 2. And the last boat out in the 400 in the forecut will be Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller in boat number 1. Jim Hess in boat 32. They have traveled the furthest of anybody from Alabama. Boy, skimming wide there. You just knew as he skimmed that island that he was coming in too tight for that corner, and that affects him 2 corners later. It's cumulative. He almost banks it on the island. One of the things the drivers like to do is put the tip almost literally on the island, and he gets it just a little too far into the island and does it again. Still, he hangs on to it, though. He's a player for sure and gets it done. There were 3 or 4 times there that his day could have ended, but he keeps on it. 60.802 for the boat that was just thrown together with spare parts on Wednesday. Boat number 4, Bill Sparling and Amanda Vestal. We have the Sinister T-shirts up in the booth. I'll give a free one to the first person up here and a pink T-shirt. Pink T-shirt to the booth will win a T-shirt. Part of the Sinister Racing team. So Bill coming out conservatively. Amanda was saying that he was very confident. Congratulations going out to Sally, who made it up here with the pink tee. Picks herself up a purple tee. As Amanda, Bill's navigator, was saying earlier, that this track kind of got in Bill's head a little bit. Tight and narrow. He was used to the wider, longer stretches, but still a good run. .056. So 51.056. Boat 34, Dean Lautenschlager, out of it, scratched for the day. That will bring Jeremy Presley in boat 15M. So again, in the 400 class, our first boat out will be Scott Saxon and Frank Ferrand in boat 13, followed by boat 88, Jordy and Deb Cook. Then it will be boat number 2, Paul and Taylor Garr, followed by boat 01, Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller. Supermods to get underway right after the Superboats. It will be the 4 fastest boats out. Boat 17, Scott Ackerman. Boat 49, Robert Cox. Boat 146, Eric Werner. And boat 69, Dennis Hughes. Jeremy is sponsored by Taylor Transfer, Ed Nevereau Racing Engines, MJ's Labor Contracting, Devon Oil, and Heller & Sons. He's from Pasco. He gets that boat started. Spent a couple of years in the super modified class, and did okay. But he's really started to shine, most definitely, now that he has moved up into the superboats and has been running there for a couple of years. Had some major problems last year with the boat, actually melted the Pistons in it last year. He said there's nothing more depressing than pulling the valve cover off and looking down into the Pistons and just seeing globs. Well, really, he doesn't need to push it here. Then again, if you can go fast, why wouldn't you want to? And go fast he does. .421. Jeremy Brewer and Presley Lawler. All right, now we get into Supermods. This is the four-cut. 2 boats will be eliminated from this group, and then we will have your championship in the class. So, boat 1-7, Scott Ackerman and Graham Reynolds from Colfax still standing. The only boat in the class to not put in a round better than 50 seconds. Lots of habitation in that corner. That whole stretch there as they weave in and out has really bled a lot of time off of a number of boats, and is doing the same for Scott Ackerman in boat 17. Now he comes into the hairpin. He'll charge it for home. He could bring it in under 50. Will he do it? It looks like he did. We'll wait for the official time. 49.671 for Scott Ackerman, who steps up in the four-cut, running 0.3 of a second behind Robert Cox's last run in 0.49, which was 49.367. So Robert Cox, not the highest horsepower, not the fastest boat, but very nimble. This, as we've said, is a driver's course. It's about setting up corners, looking at lines, setting up 3 or 4 turns in advance. This track is a great equalizer, and Robert just may have put in his best run of the day so far. We'll wait for an official time. So it looks like 49.278. We'll wait to hear what our official timer says as boat 1... So 49.278. Scott Ackerman now on the bubble. 49.670, and Ackerman is out. He had a 49.671. Eric Werner's last run was a 47.552, and he is back. Folks at the Moosehead Tavern in Wrangell, Alaska, watching the race on the stream. Hello, Moosehead. Kind of wide on that corner. This is not necessarily one of his smoothest runs. I mean, still, this is going to be a fast run for him. 46.3, it looks like. We'll wait to hear. The run was clean. That is it. 46.312. Scott Ackerman just eliminated. That leads us to Dennis Hughes and Mattia Haskey in boat 69. Time to beat 49.278. Their last run was 45.809. Oh, man, flirting with disaster as he brushes the bank. That could have ended the day for him, but he hangs on to it, guts it out. Great run, it's clean. For 3.337. Great run. Robert Cox is eliminated, and your final will be between Eric Werner and Dennis Hughes. They're both 69. Precision Tire, the sponsor, Davis Office Furniture. Very proud of Mr. Hughes, who's had another great day of racing, but still one more run to go for him, as Scott Saxon and Frank Ferrand hope to keep their day alive in the 400 class, and they will be the first boat out. Scott's goal right now is simply don't oversteer. Grabs the bank. That's going to suck a whole bunch off, probably a half a second. This is a race of tenths and hundredths of a second. Let's see how he sets up this corner. More cavitation. Calming down a little bit as he gets into this last leg of the course. Catches a wicked bounce and grabs some island as he puts it in at about 51. The run is good. .602. So his teammate in boat 88, Jordy and Deb Cook, making it to the forecut, I believe, for the first time ever here in St. John. This track has been a bugaboo for Jordy for many years, and this year finally getting the hang of it, and makes it deep into the day of racing here at Webb Slough. This is one of those courses that takes most racers at least 2 seasons, sometimes 3, to really get the hang of. Very unforgiving. And it's a track that'll beat you with paper cuts. Easy to hit banks. Every time you hit a bank, drains off time. Jordy was looking nice and smooth, and a little bit of a bobble there, but still, what appears to be one of his smoothest runs of the day. He's got to be happy with the way this is going. Oh! Was happy with the way it's going, and he'll gently put it up onto the bank. Engine cut out when he took that hard left around the hairpin curve, and engine cuts out. and the race controller sends the message via the closed-circuit radio up to the booth. Way to jinx him, Bill. They're okay. That was as easy of an exit from the water as I think we've seen all day long. Like a dory beaching itself. All right, so we have some news for you in regards to Clint Birch in boat 623. Clint, of course, had that nasty rollover crash earlier in the fourth qualifier, was carted off on a backboard, was taken to the hospital, has gone through an MRI. He has a compression fracture, a compressed spine, a compression fracture. So he is out for the season, but he is doing fine. Wanted to send word out to the track here that he was doing okay and he can't wait for next season. So for the folks that are teammates of Boat 623, our best wishes going out to you, and give them a big round of applause. They have been very worried about Clint since he took off. So they'll bring the tractor out to bring Jordy off. So Jordy has eliminated himself. And so Scott Saxton has one less competitor he has to worry about. But still, the two fastest boats to come in Paul and Taylor Garr and Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller. But as the saying goes, that's racing. You look at what just happened there. A great run for Jordy, mostly smooth, and the engine dies in the home stretch. So we still have, if you were looking for that 60-year-old Alzheimer's patient, he is still over at the entrance to the beer garden waiting for you to come get him. So again, for the person that was looking for the 60-year-old Alzheimer's patient, he is over by the entrance to the beer garden. Please go find your friend. All right, so while we have this lag here, are you all having a good time out here? Okay, well, let the drivers and the navigators and the crews know it by really letting them know that you're having a good day. Let's hear it. Everyone out here, definitely a great crowd today. I'm just curious, is there anybody here that has been here for every one of the 13 races that they have done since 2007? Anyone? Let's see. We've got like a black umbrella that's down there that I see going up and down. Do we give a couple of hands? A couple of more hands? We got a few.
All right, folks, this is Paul White with ASB live streaming. Little Freudian slip there. I did want to take this time to let you know that we do have high-definition Blu-rays available of all the races this year, and the past two races, which would be the last race in August of last year here from Webslew, and the first race of this year. So you can contact me at sprintboatvideo@gmail.com if you need to. And I'm going to hopefully put together a Blu-ray of this race as well, if everything turns out okay on the recording. So that, once again, that was sprintboatvideo@gmail.com. Just send me an email, and we can work out the shipping. They're $15 a piece, but I'm willing to negotiate if you want to buy more than one. And thank you, folks, for tuning in to our live broadcast today. We've still got quite a few runs left.
A battery. All right, you got it, dude. What's your name?
Nick,
where are you from?
I'm from Colfax.
All right, so obviously enjoying the race.
Yes, sir.
How many of the races have you been to?
I think 4.
All right. Well, glad to have you here, Nick. Glad you brought your crew. Yeah.
It's Tico, not Ticoa.
Okay, so it's Tico, not Ticoa. So let's hear it for Tico. Anybody from Tico here? Nobody from Tico? Come on, there's got to be one person from Tico. All right. So I just want to say, in my own defense, that they've spelled it Tekoa. Tekoa. Is that how it is spelled? Oh, okay. So the A is silent. I'm trying to figure out what rule of English that is. And we're ready to get racing underway as we get that boat back out of the water. A big congratulations, though, going to Jordy and Deb Cook, making it into the four-cut for the first time here at Webb Slough. Nice job and well done, Jordy and Deb. See what happens, Jordy? It's a good thing when you get married. All of a sudden, you get to race better. So, this brings us to boat number 2. The boat is Livewire. Paul and Taylor Gar. Their last run, they had a 49.317. Paul's best run was his last run in the qualifiers with a 48.827. That was perfect, the way he came through that chicane in the center. That was sweet. Setting up into this combination. Nicely done. Little bit of cavitation around the donut. Hanging tough through the hairpin. Now he makes the hard charge for home. Can he bring it in under 49? Very close, 49.016. We'll wait for the official call on that. $49.076. Anything better than a 51.602. And Scott Saxton in boat 13 is out of it. The person who could eliminate him is coming up in boat number 1, part of Wicked Team Racing, and a founder of American Sprint Boat Racing, Doug Hendrickson. They have a list of sponsors like Snap-on, Odyssey Batteries, Lucas Oil, K&N, Copycat Graphics, Armstrong Marine, you name it. And Doug with his trademark throttle feathering. Another spot-on run so far for Doug Hendrickson, who would love nothing more than to get another first after a great run. Solid. So, 48.495 unofficially. And it is certified, so that means that Scott Saxton, the last of the Fat Buddies, is done for the day. So, in the Supermods, or in the 400 class, your final will be between Paul Gar in boat number 2 and Doug Hendrickson in boat number 1. So boat 02 will be the first one out in the finals, taking on boat number 1. The Gars versus Hendrickson Muller. That brings us to the Superboats. His name is Chris Turner, but he calls himself Willie. The boat is Pink Willie, and his number 32, Jim Hess, his navigator. Chris making the long trip in from Alabama. He'll be featured, by the way, on Destination America in 2 weeks on an episode called Redneck Summer. Wide on that corner. This is a cobbled together boat. If you notice, when it really starts cutting out is when he hits those hard left corners. Well, and now even the right-hand corners. If you ever had a Volkswagen that was older than about a 68, you're familiar with that sound. 63.872. Definitely not his best run, but hey, he went out there and ran. Not bad for a boat made out of spare parts. Boat 04. Bill Sparling and Amanda Vestal, they had a 51.056 in their previous go-around. Sponsored by Action Auto Body, Performance Engineering and Machine, Heads Up Racing, Double Barrel Marine, and Bob Aldrich. And Bill, a little more aggressive in this run. Amanda, his navigator, a great coach. I'm sure giving him the pep talk between last round and this. And for the first time today, he brings it in under 50. .532. All right, so boat 15M, Jeremy Brewer, Presley Lawler, 45.421 in their last go-around. Time for them to beat, 63.872. Your finals in the Supermods coming up between Eric Werner and Nicole Brown at boat 146 and boat 69, Dennis Hughes and Mattia Haskey. And we're still waiting for Jeremy Brewer. As he gets it in the water. Your finals in the 400 class. Paul and Taylor Gar in boat number 2 versus Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller. This is a rematch of your finals in Port Angeles from 2 weeks ago. Paul Gar took second in that race. Doug Hendrickson first. This is the course, though. If Paul were going to win it, this would be the place to do it. it's about skill and angles. It's a race of geometry as opposed to speed. Head on over to the vendor booths. We got lots of good swag over there. Call it good. 45.231. So Chris Turner and Jim Hess, thanks for coming out and racing today. The finals will be between Bill Sparling and Amanda Vestal and Jeremy Brewer and Presley Lawler in boat 15M. About 4 seconds separating Bill's time in boat 04 and Jeremy's last time. So now we have a finals a-brewing here in the Supermods. Eric Werner and Nicole Brown in boat 146. All year long they have been running second to Dennis Hughes and Mattia Haskey. They would love nothing more than to break their winning streak. Sponsored by Diesel Outfitters and Taylor's Automotive and Baxter Auto Parts. If Eric ever needed to hang it out, now is the time to do it. He has a tendency to sandbag, to not show how much speed he actually has. Clean run. 46.497. 0.08 of a second. It looks like slower than his last run. No, take that back. Just about a tenth. Dennis Hughes, Mattia Haskey in boat 69. Precision Tire is sponsored. Davis Office Furniture. It's taken 5 years for this alchemist to find the gold. And he certainly, so far this season, has done it. Final run of the day. Time to beat. 46.492. Will he do it? Can he beat 46? Can he bring it in? He does! Oh! Clean run. 44.692. There is your champion. Saving the best for last in the Supermods. He will take the checkered flag for a ride. 2 more finals coming up. 0.6 of a second separating the last 2 runs in the 400 class and the last 2 racers, and Dennis Hughes once again puts a hash mark in the win column. One last race for Eric Werner this season. to try and beat Dennis Hughes. Dennis has been absolutely phenomenal, and his story is great. He's been doing this for 5 years. He has worked diligently. He is a garage wizard, works on the boat in the winter in his garage, a guy that literally cut, formed, welded that hull together. Every piece of that boat put together pretty much by hand, right down to the pump. Dennis is literally one of those great stories of a backyard mechanic that has absolutely mad skills. Congratulations to Dennis Hughes and Mattia Haskey. Dennis Hughes from Spokane and Mattia from Aberdeen. Putting on a great show for the Spokane crowd. How many of you are here from Spokane? Yeah. Dennis Hughes putting on a great show for the home crowd, so to speak. All right, boat number 2, still a great race to come here. Paul Gar. Paul needs perfection. Not as good through those particular corners as he has been earlier in the day. Still manages to bring it in under 50. .203. So he picks up about 0.13 of a second. So a little bit slower. And now it's up to Doug Hendrickson and Nicole Muller. They've, in the elimination so far, both times under 49. One more final to go after this. Doug, obviously, with a lot of respect for that first corner up there on that island that has bitten so many, he takes it really easy through there. Coming up on the very crucial part of the course. Setting up those corners. Like Doug Hendrickson has won it again. .48.591. Doug Hendrickson will take the checkered flag for a ride. Wicked team scores again. Want to remind you that we still have one more race this season in Port Angeles. Go to AmericanSprintBoatRacing.com to find out more details, or just simply Google Extreme Sports Park for details on how you can get tickets, make your camping reservations and the like. Plenty of camping to be had in Port Angeles, and Doug savoring his checkered flag run. Sorta. And one more final to go. The Plastic Saints are going to be playing after the race today. Don't forget, racing has been brought to you by the folks at King Beverages. Now, don't forget, before you start your engines, make sure a designated driver is leading your crew home today. Stay safe, and the whole team wins. Remember, responsibility matters. A message from your friends at Budweiser and Webb Slew. So, Bill Sparling making the way over from Corvallis, Montana. Coming out much more aggressively in the other run and hangs it up on the island, and that is going to be... Man, look at them rocking in there. Yep, he hangs on to it. That corner has been bad voodoo all day long. Amanda has been known to occasionally slug her driver in the shoulder after a run that didn't meet her standards. Bill might actually get punched. Puts it in at a 58.765. So the run is clean. And that leads us to one final run from Jeremy Brewer and Presley Lawler. By the way, a big event coming up this Labor Day. Robert, what's going on?
The hydroplanes are returning to Lake Coeur d'Alene for the first time in 45 years. There will be 2 of the sprint boats that are here today on display all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yes, these are the unlimited hydroplanes, the fast guys.
So if you want more information, see Robert Cox, boat 049, down in the pits. He'll set you up with more info. Jeremy Brewer and Presley Lawler. Jeremy's going to put on a show, comes out charging hard. Wow, beam me up, Scotty. .345 the official time. Hello. That's your fast time of the day. Let me go back and do some quick checking. Yep, that is the fast. That's the fast time. Yep. That was the fastest time of the day. Saving the best for last. Don't forget, the Plastic Saints are going to be in the beer garden right after the racing here, which is... And you know, as fast as he's going, Presley's arm has got to be hurt and holding that flag. At speed, that's got... Yeah. Robert Cox standing up here and he goes, I'll let you know one of these days. Well, you wouldn't be holding the flag anyway. Be your wife, Amy.
Maybe. I might give it to her one pass, and then I'll turn around and take it for the second pass around.
I got to say that overall today, your boat, Robert, was handling great. You make it into the forecut and just beaten by a couple of boats that just have a heck of a lot of juice. But your boat was handling absolutely dynamite today.
That has got to be the best that boat has